Welcome to MMA Fancast. My name is Luke, and I am honored to have back on the show a friend of the show, Dan the Man, big man Dan. Dan Albright, welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
It is fantastic having you on the show. Last time we had you on the show, it was a highlight show. You talked us through, me and everybody that watched it. It was a very popular video. You talked us through a really good, tough fight that you had, that you came out victorious. You made some corrections. You out wrestled a wrestler, and I know you were excited about that. It was absolutely fantastic. It's been probably, what, 3 or 4 months since then? How has training been going? How's life been going since that big win you had?
Yeah, so what that one was, that was October. Yeah, it's been a little bit, but I mean, training's been great. Like my camp so far has just been awesome. Like I just got, like, my coaches are phenomenal. My teammates are great. It's nice too because Sheldon Nyoff, he's fighting too. He's also fighting heavyweight, so he's not cutting any weight. So it's nice to be able to be moving around with another big guy. And the camp all around has just been awesome. Like I'm ready to fight.
And I'm glad you're talking about the Gorilla House gym. You're representing on their hat. Oh, yeah. Your hat House gym. They have an incredible gym. You talked last time about how you followed their coaching and it made you better. And it's just incredible to see that. And Sheldon has fought for 247 before and has had some great fights. I think he used to fight at 85 maybe. So heavyweight heavyweight will be interesting for him. What's it like coming off a win where, you know, you finally, you kind of put it together? Your coaches were encouraging you. They always told me before they knew you had a lot of capability. You just kind of had to develop. What was it like the last 6 months now training when you're coming off a win and you know things are headed in the right direction?
Oh, I mean, it's just great. It's nice seeing like I'm actually able to really actually have someone see me do the wrong things and be able to correct it. And like, just even, especially the striking, like the grappling's always come kind of natural to me, but it's nice. Like I got, you know, coaches like Darren that, you know, has helped my striking game just so much more, like just at a different level now.
And will this be an advanced amateur rule, or is this?
Yeah.
And I believe that's your first advanced amateur rule where ground strikes, or did you have ground strikes against Cody Gamble?
No, we're actually supposed to be advanced amateur. At least that's what we thought. And then day of the fight, they told us, they're like, hey, we're nixing the advanced amateur. And so we're like, oh, okay. So, and like I said this before, like that kind of messed up my game plan because I'm thinking I'm going to be able to ground and pound, and, you know, that kind of went out of the way, but, you know, still able to get it done. But this one, I'm very excited for it to be advanced amateur. You know, a little longer rounds, being able to do some stuff on the ground. Very excited.
And it does make a difference. The longer rounds at any weight class makes a difference. At heavyweight, it really makes a difference. Because for people who don't know, it's 3 2-minute rounds as novice. Advanced amateur is 3 3-minute rounds. So you're actually getting a full extra round on when you're going from novice to advanced, which is pretty great. You mentioned ground and pound. What are you looking forward to the most with the advanced amateur rules and your experience increasing? You're up to 5 fights or something.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited for the longer rounds. I really do think as the fight goes on, like I wake up more. I guess that's the best way to say it. It's like I actually feel like I'm getting my wind as I'm fighting. So those long rounds I think are an advantage for me. Like, and I'm excited for them. And then also just being able to provide the strikes and everything to the head while we're on the ground. I think, you know, before when I fought Gamble, and even when I fought last August, like when I went to the ground and not being able to do that stuff, you know, was kind of more of a hindrance to me because I'm not really a submission guy. You know, if it's there and maybe I can do it, but you don't see a whole lot of big boys doing submissions.
Yeah, no, you don't, except that one Alexei Onikov or something who just got his 40th or 50th win or something. It's crazy. It's crazy. And he invented a choke that hadn't been used before the UFC. I mean, but yeah, you're right. Most big boys, it's a lot of action. You showed that you can out wrestle a wrestler. You showed that you can remain calm, because Gamble did a pretty unique thing where he pushed you up against the cage and he didn't do the game plan you thought he would do. So you did a lot of adjustment. You are fighting a teammate of Gamble's. You're fighting a guy who we've seen inside the 247 cage before, Justin Pippins, who's another big heavyweight. It's like they keep giving you the big boys. And at heavyweight, that's what's to be expected. What makes you excited to fight him? Have you watched him before? Do you know about him? Or is it just a matter of continuing to want to get any opponent?
Yeah, I mean, he's just an exciting guy that I'd like to fight, just because he is. I mean, when you normally see heavyweights, you don't see heavyweights built like, myself or Gamble or even Pippins. They're a little sloppy, you could say.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm excited just to be able to go. I mean, I don't get easy fights. I mean, I guess this is how it goes for me. That's just the luck that I got, and I'm fine with that. I mean, if I want to go pro, like, I can't be taking these easy fights. But I just being able to go against a guy like him. I watched him fight. When was it? It was last May in the Brawl in the Berg. He fought David Krause, and he did pretty well. He looked like he was real comfortable on the ground. He was real comfortable striking, and looks like a well-rounded fighter. And I'm excited for Saturday to get after it.
Yeah, and good memory on that. That was a good fight to show Pippins, who had no experience, is now training at a gym that's known for ground. And it clearly showed that he was sort of doing more in his game plan than he had against his former opponent. The first fight I ever saw him fight, he kind of got a knockout, ended up being a no contest or a draw because it was an illegal strike. But very, very good on the feet and then developing on the ground. You're talking about, developing your career. What's exciting about MMA for you? Obviously, you're a family man. You've got kids. You've got a wife. You've got a job. What's it like balancing all of that with this MMA?
Oh, it's a lot. I make my wife mad at me. To put it in simple terms, she does get because with me, I work 10-hour days, and then I come home for a little bit, and then I'm off to the gym, and then my oldest son, he's in baseball right now, and so he's got games and practice, and we're running around, and I'm lucky to have the wife that I do, that to be able to do the things that I love doing.
Well, you just celebrated Mother's Day with her, so hopefully that's good, and she knows all those things, which is wonderful. You represent the Gorilla House Gym. What was it like watching Ethan Gossa Wolverine win the belt? Incredible fight, incredible title for him. He's had ups and downs. He's a legend, not only at your gym, he's a legend in Pittsburgh and Pennsylvania MMA. What was that like for you? Because he's kind of the top as far as athletic performance in your gym.
Oh yeah, I mean, when we're at the whole gym, we're at the fight, and the whole time it was just awesome, because like everything that we're doing in his training camp, he was doing it in that fight. Like when we're everything on stand up, then we got to the ground. There was points where he had him against the cage, and he was driving up, and me and Sheldon were like, "Hey, that's what we were doing. That's exactly what we were doing," and he was executing it perfectly. And like in his camp, I think it actually kind of changed the camps for the rest of us, because his camp was so good, it made all of us kind of step it up for our camp. And I think, for now on, like Gorilla House is going to have crazy good camps and crazy good fights.
Well, Gorilla House has already had great fights. You had a long-time amateur champ in Cam Allgaier, the champ, who recently dropped that belt, but still, Sydney Ross looks like she could go pro at any time. And it's just wonderful to see you finding a family, finding a training camp that has a diversity in their coaches are spectacular in teaching all of MMA, great attitude, just wonderful support. And so it's always great. Is there anybody else from your gym? Oh, you said Sheldon. So where are you as far as Are you going to be warming him up? Is he going to be warming you up? Are you guys going to kind of day of kind of do your own thing? Like, what do you think it's going to be like having a teammate fight on the same card as you?
Well, and this is what's exciting about this fight. It's like my last two fights, it was either, Ethan, that I fought with in August, and then last October with Sid. And, they're both smaller individuals, so it doesn't really make sense for, the heavyweight to be warming up with the 125 pounder. So it's nice now with both of us fighting at heavyweight. We're going to be able to do our warm up together, just like we're practicing, and, be ready to tear it up that night.
That does make a big difference. I think gyms end up benefiting where they have different sizes. You've been the big man Dan for a long time there, and it's just great. That's what your coaches call you. It's just great to see the gym develop, and Gorilla House is just incredible. What would you like to see out of yourself we didn't even say it, it's Flood City Fight Night 2, May 14th at the First Summit Cambria War Memorial in Johnson, which is basically your home. It's your home fighting area. So what are you wanting to see out of yourself?
I just want a dominant performance. I mean, that's my goal. That's my goal for every fight is I want to be dominant in every position. And that's the same thing as every other fight. It's the same thing with this fight. I just want to be the most dominant fighter in that ring that night.
Well, that's a great statement. It's a great summary of what you want to have happen May 14th. Thank you so much for making time out of your busy day to come on. I know you'll have a lot of hometown fans cheering for you. And obviously your opponent comes from a gym which is going to have a lot of fans too. So this is going to be a very exciting, lot of energy going to be going into this fight. You have a great one. Best skills to you, and can't wait to see what happens. May 14th, Flood City Fight Night. Get tickets from the fighters, from the gym, Gorilla House, or 247fighting.com. Thanks so much, Big Man Dan. Have a good one.
You too.